Hello everyone and welcome back to Cooking with Dr. Fred. So today people have been asking and sending in messages that they'd all like to see a dessert recipe. How can you make dessert healthy? Well, today I'm going to show you. Now, when it comes to baking, baking is a little unlike cooking. Baking is you mostly have to get the ingredients correct, and you have to get them correct in the exact correct form, or things won't sort of do what they're supposed to do, especially when you're trying to create something that is really not low carb into a low carb diet or into a paleo way of eating. So I'm going to refer to my recipe. I copied it. It's out of my book called the Hampton, actually this is from the A-List Diet. Book available on Amazon and anywhere that sells good books. So I'm going to actually use that as a cheat sheet. So we're going to make protein pancakes. We're going to make actually crepes, and then I have some 99% chocolate right in here that we're going to melt over it, and then we'll drizzle it over, and you can actually do a bunch of different things. So we all know about the health benefits of cocoa, correct? But before I get to the health benefits of cocoa, let's do whey protein. Now, whey protein is my favorite form of protein. It's the closest form of protein that you can get. It's one of the best proteins that you can get outside of eating an actual piece of meat. So just 1 scoop of the vanilla powder. That's it. 2/3 of a cup of egg whites, which I've already measured out. So I'm just going to pour them right in there. Egg whites, 2/3 of a cup. Oh, you need a teaspoon of butter. Let me put that in, because the last time I put the teaspoon of butter in, it didn't really do what it was supposed to do. So I'm just going to put a teaspoon of butter there, and then I'm going to put another teaspoon of butter into this we're going to put into the pan that we're going to cook them in. And then this we're going to use, you put that in there. I'm sure it works as a thickening agent, or I know it does. And then we need a tablespoon of unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And honestly, any nut milk will do. We need, how much do we need? A tablespoon. So that's not very much at all. So let me clean this up for a second so that our numbers are precise. And the whey protein that I use comes from cows that have not been treated with antibiotics, obviously, and growth hormones and things like that. So you have to be very, very clear about that. So I'm using soy milk because I happen to have it in the refrigerator from when I did the eggnog recipe, so I'm going to use that. But if you want to use almond milk, you can use macadamia nut milk, you can use whatever milk you want, just as long as it's that type. It's not a dairy milk. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed. So let's clean this off so that we can use it again for the flaxseed. This is an actual measurement. So we put that, and like I said, baking requires measurement. So what are we getting in the flaxseed? Omega-3s and omega-6s. That's right, we're getting ALA, which is one of the very few omega-6s that we do need in our bodies. And you're getting, ALA is actually the omega-3, sorry. So you're getting a lot of good oil from flaxseed. And then we're going to use, I believe, another tablespoon of coconut flour. The recipe that I did calls for a little bit of stevia in here, or monkfruit. I'm not going to do that because I just don't think you need it. I'm not a person that likes things super sweet anyway. All right, so we've got that. Now all we have to do is put this in a blender. So I'm going to step off camera for a minute because I have to put my blender off camera. So give me 1 second to come right back. Okay, that ought to do it. So that didn't take much time at all. So now this is your pancake batter. Oops. There's your pancake batter right there. So it's very good, very delicious, you'll see. And oh my God, it smells really, really good. Okay, so let's just get this butter melting. Okay. You want to put it on sort of a medium heat. And in the meantime, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove this board from the stove, get that off camera, and I'm going to put the chocolate on to melt. That does not take long at all. I thought it was going to take forever, but it really takes very, very, very little time to melt chocolate. So I'm going to put that on super low. And then I'm going to throw in a little bit of, I have organic monkfruit sweetener here. I don't know how many drops I'm gonna put in. Maybe like, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They say to put 8. Sometimes I find things too sweet when you do it that way. So you get the bottom of the pan here. It won't be fancy because it's you guys. So I will use this to make some nice even crepes. Now this part goes very fast, people. Very, very fast because it's thin and you're not, oh, I can't even use that. Oh, well. So we're just gonna use a little bit. Here we go. Pour a little bit. This is supposed to make 3 different pancakes, so that's, you know, use your judgment here. You can always increase the recipe or decrease the recipe, whatever your needs are. And you kind of move it around the pan so it gets really thin-like and crepe-like, and then you just let it sort of congeal and cook a little bit. This is probably a little bit big of a crepe that I wanted, but you can do that. It will cook faster. Medium heat. So that's really good. You'll know when it's ready to turn over because the edges will start to get a little crispy, you'll see. But again, we've got fiber in here, we've got protein in here, we've got coconut in here. I mean, what could be a better superfood than all of this? And it's gonna be absolutely delicious once the chocolate melts. Yeah, see, it's starting to puff up at the edges, which is great, and I'm gonna turn that over. I may just make 2 out of this because it's just me sitting here. And I don't wanna be a glutton. I should have used a pot that wasn't maybe tilted. What else did I want to talk about? So we talked about the powers of coconut. We talked about the beauty of organic flaxseed. We're using butter, which is sometimes better than using any oil. Let's see how this is ready. It should be, there we go. It's ready, see? Beautiful thing. I probably cooked it a little too much, but anyway, let's flip her. Look at that. It's a crepe. Protein, it's a pancake. You know, everybody says you can't have these things on low carb, paleo, keto diets. Well, guess what? You can. And here's how you do it. This is melting very nicely. You just have to make sure it doesn't burn. Because chocolate will burn as it's melting, but that's gonna be delicious. All right, so this one's done. So it's coming out of the frying pan. Ah, it's gonna be so good. Smells amazing. That one got a little stuck, so we just get rid of it. Okay, let's put this one in. That'll cook up really quickly. Ooh, that's too big. All right, well, I wanted to kind of get rid of it, but that's way too big because now it's gonna be more like a pancake rather than a crepe. But what you can do is just make sure that just goes around to the whole entire pan, and we'll give that a minute to settle. And in the meantime, I'll check on the chocolate to make sure that that is cooking up. Let me get a spoon for that. Now chocolate, as you know, is extremely healthy. It's good for heart disease. And the reason we know this is because in Panama, there's an island off the coast of Panama where the Kuna Indians used to live. And the Kuna Indians did not have heart disease, but the Kuna Indians that moved to the mainland did. And that's when they realized the power of chocolate, or mole, or what the healing powers of it are. It's actually got way more antioxidants than vitamin C. Let me just taste this. It's bitter, which I like. But I think most other humans would probably prefer 8 to 10 drops of the monk fruit. So I'm gonna just take that off there for now. This looks like it's overdone because I was talking to you instead of paying attention, but that's okay. Oh my. Ah, look at that. Now, granted it's not perfect, but that looks just like a pancake anybody would make. And this is completely proteinoid. Oh, I'm much happier. I'm glad I burnt it. So now let's use this one because burning it, I was afraid to cook it too much. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just take this. I'm gonna, you know what, we'll make it fancy. We'll roll it up. And then what you could do is take some berries, either that or you can take a little bit of, you could also take a little bit of, see, you just drizzle it on there. You could also take a little bit of non-sweetened jam or something like that. Let's see how this tastes. This bad boy looks good. But there's nothing healthier than this. And it's carbohydrate-like, but it's still paleo, keto, and low carb. Delicious. That is some intense chocolate, man. Woo. Wow. All right, so there you go. Pancakes, what more could you want? Enjoy. Tell me what they're like after you've made them. Until next time, I'm Dr. Fred, and this is Cooking with Dr. Fred, the dessert edition.